Hey, Geekscapists, welcome to a brand new Geekscape podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan London, filmmaker, comic book writer now. Director, what else is there? Instructor. I've done my time in the classroom instructing the youths of America, some of the college kids around here. And podcaster. I've been podcasting with this whole thing since 2005, Geekscape since 2006. And around that time, I met the boys in a band called Punchline. We did a music video together. It was thrown together. They were in a state of flux. If you guys want to know the history of Punchline, why don't you guys go and check out the A Band Called Punchline podcast on all of your podcatchers. It's fantastic. There's a new episode out this week. And even though I was there during some of the events that it documents, I found it to be stressful and harrowing listening to it because I've loved music my entire life and I've rarely been able to play it. But I love it working with bands. I love shooting music videos. I love putting on shows in basements in high school, and a lot of that life led to the DIY ethos that is Geekscape, is the community of Geekscape. This podcast is about storytelling, or I interview storytellers. That is why we're here, and that whole love of music and DIY ethos kind of led to this. So welcome to Geekscape. I'm a storyteller. I interview storytellers. If this is your first Geekscape, strap yourselves in for some pop culture talk, movies, video games, comic books, a lot of that stuff. But we're talking a lot of music this week because my friend Chris Fafalios from the band Punchline has a brand new album out called Somewhere to Land. You can find it on TDR Records. Great place to find it as well is punchlinemusic.com. It's out this coming Friday if you're watching this live. If you're listening to it the week of release, go pick up this album. I've been listening to it for the last week and I absolutely love it. Some notes. Hi, I'm Jonathan. Longtime Geekscapists remember me. It's been a while. I really got socked by the nonstop flood of work. The GalaxyCon thing, if you look one back on the feed, I had my friend Tony Fleece and my new friend Liana Kangas on the episode to talk about GalaxyCon. I then went to San Jose GalaxyCon. I moderated like 30 freaking panels. It was awesome. I actually love it. I love going nonstop, talking to storytellers, and wow, what a weekend. I got to talk to Timothy Zahn twice and like learn everything I wanted to learn since I was 13 years old, reading his Star Wars novels, Heir to the Empire, and that whole Thrawn trilogy. And the dude created Admiral Thrawn, and that was just awesome. Mark Waid, 2 panels with Mark Waid. I made friends with so many great comic creators, and saw so many friends that it was a blast. But I also recorded a lot of those panels, and I have not really gotten a clear answer, but it's okay. I think it's awesome. The relationship's good, but I've asked, can I take some of the recordings of our panels? Because I would love for you to listen to comics legend Dennis Cowan, who has a brand new book coming up with all his artwork. Like, can I take some of this recording and can I put it on the Geekscape feed? So hopefully I get that answer soon, because I'm going to Des Moines in a few days to do another weekend with GalaxyCon, and I get to talk to Jason Aaron. It's so cool. He's written X-Men, Avengers, his early book Scalped. He's currently writing Ninja Turtles. Ooh, man, it's gonna be so awesome. I get to talk to Timothy Zahn again. Like, it's so cool. It really is a lot of fun to go and like just basically do Geekscape for 3 straight days and meet new people in a new city. Chris is waiting in the wings to talk about this new album, Somewhere to Land. I got to tell him, this kind of feels like a band touring, ups and downs. It takes a while to get used to a brand new town and all that. And then as soon as you get used to it, you leave it. But it's been fun. All that to say, it walloped me. Was unable to Geekscape since, but I definitely wanted to make a point to Geekscape now, because this album Somewhere to Land is awesome, and I want you all listening to it. If you're listening on the podcast feed, you just heard a snippet of it, a little bit of music playing in the intro. These guys are good. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. There's Ophelia, if you're watching this, leaving in the background. Her face was not shown, but bye, Ophelia. It's bath time. And let's do this. We got a few Geekscapes coming up. We got to talk Peacemaker with Ian Kerner. If you're watching the Peacemaker season 2, I'm loving it. We got to talk about that. Some cool stuff happening. But let me stay focused. I'm going out of town in a few days for Des Moines, doing some more GalaxyCon. I'm trying to get you guys the recordings of all that stuff on the feed. Hopefully for times like the last few weeks that were dry periods, you guys will still have content to listen to. More stuff to talk about. Just the new website's coming. Matt and Paul and I are working on that almost daily. And look for a Kickstarter for Hero of the Prophecy 2 in the next few weeks. I come back from GalaxyCon Des Moines next week, and then 2 weeks later we go right to LA Comic Con. We have our own booth here at Geekscape. It's going to be a blast. You guys are coming with us. There's a Geekscape panel. There's just a lot to cover, so maybe I shouldn't have taken effing 4 weeks off, but I needed it because my brain was coming out my nose. I love you guys. I'm going to put my brain back in and do a little Geekscape with my friend Chris Fafalios from his band Punchline that has a new album, Somewhere to Land, out this week. I think I've got it together. I was so excited to do Geekscape that I forgot how to do Geekscape. What a psychotic ramble that was. Here are the main points. Had a blast at GalaxyCon San Jose, and I'm trying to get those recordings on the feed. So please subscribe to Geekscape on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. That's one. Second, we're going to be at LA Comic Con with a booth. I hope you're there. Come by, pick up a Hero of the Prophecy comic. I'm sharing the booth with my friend Derek Acosta from Mega 64. We haven't announced that yet, but I guess I just did. We'll put up some graphics and socials when I get back from this weekend, GalaxyCon Des Moines, where I get to talk to Jason Aaron, which I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all those creators. I love talking to creators. So, brings me to my final point. My friend Chris Fafalios, he's the guest today. He's a great creator. His band Punchline, his band Another Cheetah. It's good music. And he creates a podcast called One Hit Thunder. You might have heard of it. Okay. Let's bring him on and talk about this brand new album, Somewhere to Land from Punchline, hitting this week. Chris, I'm sorry, man. That was crazy.
What are you sorry for? Thanks for having me on the show.
Came out like a damn rocket with no aim.
That's fine.
It's just like, let's go. Let's talk.
I was just waiting for my time to speak. Hey, let me say first and foremost, congrats on Hero of the Prophecy. Got my copy.
Thanks,
it's a beautiful comic, and I'm looking forward to number 2.
Number 2 has 2 pages left to be inked. And then the color is so fast and the titles are so fast that the issue will be done in October. And I think we're going to throw we have to start the Kickstarter in October because I don't want Kickstarters to end in like Thanksgiving, and because you guys have kickstarted and all that stuff. Like, you can't really end those campaigns around Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, not the best timing. The best. People tend to have a little less expendable money around that time of year.
Yeah, so I'm aiming to start this Kickstarter the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I've been working on it. The book is pretty much done. I think it's a stronger book. I think it's got more pages. Tom Hoskinson, our new artist, is doing some beautiful work. I mean, it's nothing against Marcelo. He was wonderful. This is our series artist now. Like, this is what Hero of the Prophecy is when I look at it in my head. I'm like, this is the comic. This is the comic. Yeah. We've gotten to it, and it's great. Tom was I found him online. He could do fantasy. He could do real great paneling, and he's a good storyteller. Not that Marcel is not. I just vibe with Tom. He's a good dude. And
Nice.
yeah, and so we're finishing that book as we start the Super Action Man comic, which
Nice.
is getting drawn as well. And so we're just gonna make a ton of comics, Chris. If you got an idea for a comic, let's figure out how to make a comic. Let's just make comics.
I think that's awesome. The collaborative spirit, and then having it and holding in your hand, like when
it's the coolest.
It's so cool. It's so cool, especially when you make something. I mean, you're making something with your brother and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making, same thing with me, is like when you make something new and you put it out into the world. I mean, I don't care if 5 people, 500 people, 5,000 people, 5 million people, find out about it, listen to it, whatever.
You'd love the 5 million.
Yeah, sure.
You'd love the 5 million.
You'd love that. But you make something, and the fact that anybody out there cares is pretty cool. I know that, I spent my Saturday and all day today, I spent shipping records to people. And it was just so every record I packaged up, I was like, this is so cool that this, some people, some names I know, some names I don't, but it's so neat. Just like, it puts it makes it real or something.
Well, there's something palpable, right? Like obviously you can download your albums digitally. Obviously, Hear the Prophecy you can download digitally. But like I read a little note pretty much every package.
Me too.
And I've got to write some tonight. I got to mail some out tomorrow. But there's something personal. Like you can, I don't know. I think comics should be palpable. I think music should be palpable. You guys have the vinyls up. They're $30. They look beautiful. Geekscape is, if you're listening to this, you gotta go to punchlinemusic.com and pick up your copy of Somewhere to Land. You don't necessarily have to have it on vinyl, but if you want to do digital because it works better for your life, get digital. The album is awesome. I'm super. I want to see what people think of it, and I'm sure that 20 plus years into this game, you still get crazy nervous as you sit there like ready to launch this thing. You're like, man, I wonder what's going to be coming back to me, right? Or like the longtime fans not going to like it, or the longtime fans going to love it more, or like what's the risk? Are we going to get new fans? Is this going to increase everything? Like, right. What do you anticipate, man? Like, are you surprised by anything this far in the game?
No, I mean every song. It's like everything we do creatively. You, me, anybody we know, creative friends, anything you do is like, especially now more than ever, everything is like a little lottery ticket you put into the world, and you try to have a really good, pick some really good numbers, pour your heart and soul. I hate putting it that way makes it cheapens it a little bit, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of talented people in the world creating great things, and you just hope that you can make something that connects with people. And I think your best chance of doing that is making something from your heart, something authentic, especially now. Now is a scary time for creative people. And I think that, I like to think people can see true like heart and authenticity in a world that's becoming more and more, I don't know, kind of scary. And for creative people, I think.
Well, let's talk about the different aspects of that. But I mean, I've been betting on if I'm getting the lotto scratchers, like I've been scratching the Punchline lotto ticket for 20 years. Like we became friends in first month, January of 2005.
Yeah.
And then you've been on the podcast. You started a podcast. Like this has just been amazing, and watching you guys creatively in your ebbs and flow with the various labels, your own label, starting a label like Modern Short Stories, or going to another label, or teaming up with like all that stuff. To me, it just has felt like a roller coaster ride, and I will always bet on you guys. I love you guys. You guys are my brothers, and I love your music. But man, listening to the Punchline like podcast and Geekscape is even if you don't listen to Punchline, if you just care about creative stories and what it is to be a creator and a long-term creator, it is a straight up soap opera with
Yeah.
victories and defeats that is as
Yeah.
good as any comic book that I can write. Like, and it's unpredictable. This last episode, guys, I remember when the TV show thing, I remember the Howie Mandel TV show. I remember where I was and Steve coming over to our duplex and hanging out. And I remember the hopes of this thing. And I remember watching it on TV live. And then after it's just a holy crap, guys. I know how it ended. I know how it goes. And I texted you and Steve, and I was like, this is still giving me anxiety.
It's I'll tell you what, and you've probably experienced this hundreds of times now in your life, especially you're in LA. This is probably the most normal thing in the world for you. But for us, who we're referencing being on some stupid TV show in like 2012.
But you guys had to dance on TV.
Right. No, look, what I'm going to say about it, the craziest thing, Jonathan, was there was probably 1,000 people involved in this big production, this TV show we're on. And the crazy thing that I'm talking about is this giant thing happening. It was, for anyone listening, it was a flash mob show, which
at Hollywood and Highland, which is like the Times Square of Los Angeles.
Yes. But it was this giant thing, and you can imagine like hundreds of dancers involved, and Howie Mandel, and a whole team of people. But what's crazy to me is like when the shooting was over, it was like the bell rang, and everyone was like, "All right, see you later," and we're still like, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" Like.
Put your clothes on and get out. Yeah,
for us, it's still the craziest thing ever. But for everybody else, literally everybody else involved, it's like, okay, time to go home. Like as if this was a normal day or something. Like we were like, what?
It's like after any film shoot, you think you're going to be friends with those people forever. You're like, oh man, we made such relationships. We were in the trenches together. You know, whether it be a film shoot or like, I'm getting a taste of the touring life now because I'm out of town 1 or 2 conventions a month with this GalaxyCon thing. Like there's 2 conventions in September. There's one in San Jose. I said no to Cleveland because my parents and I were coming to town for Memorial Day, but that would have been 2 in August. It's about 2 conventions a month, and it's not a lot of touring going on if you're not Oasis or you're not, I don't know who tours anymore, but I don't know, man. I may need pointers, dude, because like I straight up like ate dinner 3 times by myself, like in San Jose, and I showed up to San Jose being like, cool, totally spoiled by Geekscape, you know, because I go to all these conventions and I know all the people, I know creators, I know the Geekscapists, and so Comic Cons, I'm like, dude, I'm good at Comic Cons. I know lots of people there. Nope, Jonathan's eating dinner alone all 3 nights.
Well, let me
like did not like it was like it felt like I was touring or like a touring comedian or a touring band. Like I was like, I don't know any of these people.
That's not my experience touring, but that's because I'm always with my friends.
you bring your community.
But I'm surprised to hear you say that because you're pretty outgoing, and I'm wondering if that. But here's what I'll say. If I was in your position and doing so, like, I'm very outgoing when I'm in my element or when I'm with my friends who are also outgoing. I'm very out. But when I'm in a situation where I'm by myself and I have to like forge a new relationship, like I'm so bad at that. And I revert back to when I was a kid and super shy. You would think at this point in my life I wouldn't, but that happens to me.
I'm the new guy. Like I'm literally the new guy in this organization. They've been doing this circuit for years, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Like I think I said, they keep adding these conventions to the circuit for the GalaxyCon thing, and everybody there is super nice. I'm just not the person they know, and so they all have their people they want to hang out with afterwards. They have the people who are like, oh, we're going to do that thing like we did 2 cities ago and hang out. Oh, you know, we would plan to go to this dinner in this cool place. And like Liana and Tony are great, but Tony's on deadline. Like he had to write scripts and go back and make some comics. I don't think I can talk about the one he's doing for one of the big 2 comic companies, but super stoked about it. And then Liana's like partner was in town, and like I don't know, I got third wheel and all this stuff. So like it's like, let me just eat. And I like the pizza place. I ate the pizza place 3 straight nights. But
okay,
you know, by Sunday I was like, okay, Jonathan, let's keep some perspective. You're here to talk comics with people. Don't be all like kicking a can down the street because you had to spend some time by yourself, because you probably should spend some time by yourself, dude, because I'm nothing if not like always looking for distraction, right? So by Sunday I concentrated on that. I was like, just let's just talk comics and let's do our job, and then let's get on the plane and come home. And that's kind of the attitude I'm going to take going into Des Moines, is like, let's run every morning, set my head straight, explore the city, talk comics. If you got to eat by yourself, do the job, come home and explore those relationships you made in the wonderful world of comics, which are your favorite medium, dude. Like, quit being a bitch.
I was wondering if the people that you are interacting with are more of a product of a world that's becoming increasingly less interactive in real life, like people are not. You know what I'm getting at?
Well, let's talk about that challenge to creativity that I think you were hinting at. Because the big one here is AI. Like the big one for comics, dude. Did you see what happened at Dragon Con? Like Ben Templesmith, who's a friend who I've seen at GalaxyCon last week or last time. I'll see him this weekend. Ben Templesmith, wonderful artist. He did the 30 Days a Night for IDW that became the movie. Like, beautiful artist. He's super anti-AI. We're all anti-AI. At Dragon Con, they had a dude exhibiting and it was all over the nerd news at least. And he had a booth. He was selling AI. And then finally on the last day, they had enough evidence that there was stuff in his booth drafted from other creators that they were like, dude, you're gone. And they kicked them out. I don't know why they did it on the third day, but not 2 days later, GalaxyCon came out with a huge press release that said AI is not allowed in our convention. Exhibitors can't do it. Nobody can do it.
Fuck AI. Dude, I'll tell you what. When I first, ChatGPT first came out, curious. Oh, it's funny. I can make.
Don't do that. It's 6 bottles of water.
I know, dude. Look, I didn't know when I didn't know any better. Okay.
Yeah, talk to people in Memphis about like Elon's new AI super Gronk or whatever the hell it is out there, and what it's doing to their local water supply.
All I can say is, if people don't wake up and realize how fucking horrible AI is for everything, like who's gonna have any, creators aside, who's gonna have a fucking job? I am so sick of hearing the arguments of how it's gonna, it's not gonna make our lives better. There's gonna be 5 trillionaires who benefit from it, and we're all gonna be fucked, and we're all gonna be stolen from. Now, my band's not a big enough piece of the, whatever. We're a small to medium sized band, so whatever.
Well, you're at the Four Chord festival coming up. When is that, by the way?
We're playing at Four Chord on Sunday.
When? It's this Sunday?
Coming this Sunday, yeah.
Say hi
to
my the band. A guy from my running group, Ryan, is in state champs, and I told him to come find you and say hi.
Nice.
He likes Punchline. He's never met you guys. I said, go find Chris, and if you can just surprise tackle him. I guess I ruined the surprise. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I told him to come say hi to you.
Here's all I want to say. You already know this, but I want people to realize this if you haven't thought of this thought. If you're okay, whatever, doesn't matter what band, whatever. There is, I'm not going to say the name of it. There is a nightmarish AI site that makes music. You could give it cues, and it'll.
I've had that crap sent to me, dude. I've had that crap sent to me, and like
it is a fucking nightmare. And I'll tell you why.
Musicians who try and use it to get through their like writing, like they're like, oh, I had writer's block. It's like, okay, I'm a writer. I have writer's block. Guess what? I push fucking through it and I write crap. I don't have somebody write crap for me.
This is what's horrible about it, man. I don't care who you are. I use the Beatles as an example. Maybe that's a bad example because, like, okay,
that's pretty
good. The Beatles aren't the guy. The estate isn't hurting for money or whatever. But if you go on this thing and you say write a song in the style of the Beatles, it's stealing from the Beatles, from 100 different Beatles songs, and the Beatles will never get credit for that. Now let's use Punchline as an example, or whatever, a band that's somewhere between Punchline and the Beatles. Doesn't matter. Like,
there are not a lot of bands between those two, though. By the way,
it's hard
There's
enough.
Like 5.
It's hard enough to make a living now, harder than ever. We should have. Look, if you want to stream our album wherever you like to stream music, yes, please do. But we all should have railed against that when that became a thing, and we didn't. And now the owner of that company is building AI war drones with the money they're making from artists. So
I read just before this that OpenAI is doing a $30 million animated film for kids called The Fuzzies or something like that. And I just read it like an hour before we started Geekscape that their first animated film from OpenAI specifically is coming out by May, and they're just starting it today. And it's animated, and they actually have Hollywood writers on it. What's the point? You don't need Hollywood writers anymore than you need Hollywood animators, because you're going to make a piece of garbage. You know what? AI, clean our fucking oceans. We don't need you to write fucking
cure cancer, clean
cancer.
the ocean.
And you've read these stories. You've read these stories that the AI algorithms are able to detect, in some cases, breast cancer. Like the things that lend itself in create, the different factors that end up as breast cancer, in the same way that a dolphin can like detect the different denominations of coins in your pockets, or can tell you're pregnant before an actual sonogram can. You hear about this stuff. I mean, dolphins supposedly can tell that you're pregnant long before a sonogram. AI can probably do that with different algorithms. Like, you've heard these stories. Do that. I don't need you to make a damn Beatles song. We had the Beatles for that. I definitely don't need you to make Somewhere to Land. We have Punchline for that.
Or anything. I mean, comics, movies. I mean, wasn't that a big part of the writer's strike?
Dude, Colin Kaepernick was like walking through Comic-Con last year, 2024. And he was meeting with all these comic creators. Everybody got so excited when he was there. Like, cool, Colin Kaepernick's like a nerd. He's walking through Artist Alley. We'd taken photos with him. And then like the next day after Comic-Con, it's revealed he and some tech bros are starting an AI comics company.
Oh, man.
Thanks for researching, man. Thanks for being part of the community, dude. Like, you're literally smiling next to people whose jobs you're trying to steal. That's
horrible.
How much of Somewhere to Land is AI, though? Let's talk about that.
Dude. I could talk all day about, like, throughout our lifetimes, we've seen in music or whatever, different technologies come along. Okay. In my lifetime, some people were, when Pro Tools came along, recording software.
Oh, Autotune. I remember when Sean from Dynamite Boy first told me about Autotune, and he played it for me. And I was like, but that's not going to be a thing, right? They're not really doing this.
Look, even autotune, Jonathan, everything, every piece of technology, when synthesizers first became a thing, people were very resistant to it. You know why? Because there were live performers who were like, we're going to lose our jobs because they're just going to do it all with synths. And then, you either accepted it or you were resistant to it. And now synths are a thing we accept. We accept that you can create emotion through synthesizers. Yes. Autotune. People, look, I understand the arguments against autotune, but people used it as an instrument, as a part, and it eventually, like T-Pain, who's an amazing singer, used it as a gimmick, as a thing that was like part of his music.
We're going to need the AI version of T-Pain to justify the existence of AI.
But this is all to say that AI is the first thing in my lifetime where, as it's happening, and every fucking commercial on TV, every single conversation, every time, like, if I were listening to this podcast right now, I'd be like, oh, I'm out. Just because people talk about it too much.
No, but people need to wake up.
Yeah, it sucks.
Or we're not going to have fresh water.
It fucking sucks. People, an unreasonable amount of people are going to have relationships with freaking AI. Like, I'm talking love relationships. It's already happening. People are going to go more into their shells, and it's just, dude, it's so fucking scary.
That when you create a vacuum for human interaction, and I'll use the pandemic as an example, you start seeing the increase of this tribalism and gender tribalism, right? Where like the manosphere, we didn't fucking talk about the manosphere 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but suddenly you have these Andrew Tates and the Joe Rogan and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, the dude from News Radio, like, that guy now has, the comedian, like, okay, like, but people are like listening to him talk about like stoner like theories. It's like, how is that catching on? But it's because we've all kind of been products of this algorithm, because there's a vacuum of human interaction that just there was none during the pandemic. A lot of people were isolated, and you're right, the like talking to a chat gpt is a level of isolation. It's not just a level of isolation, but it's turning you into the algorithm. You're starting to put in the same prompts to get the same answers other people are looking for, because those are the questions that other people have, because you're being guided there. You're not just training the AI, is what I'm saying. The AI is probably training you as well. You're looking for options. As you're training it, trying to get a better product, you're also, as a human, seeing what works and doesn't work to further your search for quote unquote answers. I'll leave those in quotes. You're being trained in how to talk to the thing. Does it make sense? So you're not just training the AI, you're being trained how to talk to the thing. And you're being trained what questions not to ask, and to quit questioning certain things outside of the parameters of your conversation with something that doesn't actually have emotions or failure, which is like the biggest thing. Is like the reason they're not going to replace true art, true storytelling, is failure. You cannot replicate error and failure to a sincere degree. I want to feel the rough shit on an album. I want to feel the paper on a comic book.
Can I ask you something though?
Yes, we're on our soapbox. Yes,
what?
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
And I love it though. I bring you on for the hot takes.
It needs to be said. And I mean, what about when, we have a fucking idiot running the country right now, like the worst human being who ever lived is running the country, but
his health secretary is pretty bad too.
Oh, they're all fucking horrible. Like, they're all fucking terrible people, but so stupid, Jonathan, so stupid. But I worry what happens when we have someone just as terrible who's not stupid. That is
you have those people, but they're the ones propping up the stupid, right? Like,
yeah, I know.
Like stupid can go to the U.S. Open and get booed, and it's fine. But like Stephen Miller never got hit with a tomato from that. Like, he can actually just stand in the middle of the street and say stupid shit. Well, really, it's not stupid. I don't think he's stupid at all. I think he's just evil and doesn't mind.
That's what
lying.
I'm saying.
He doesn't mind lying. So no, there are smart, evil people around the stupid people.
That's
making sure that the stupid people catch the tomatoes. And when the cult of personality ultimately fails, they're going to find the next cult of personality to put up there.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, but they'll outlive him. Remember like 2 weekends ago when people thought he was dead, and it was like everybody was so happy.
I know.
I hate to put ill will, but like people thought he was possibly dead because he disappeared for 5-6 days. And then people were starting to like preemptively cheer.
Yeah.
They were probably scrambling for like the next person to throw up there. They're just they're evil, but they're smart.
Would be so easy. I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. But what I want to say is, in his the stupidest bill I've ever, I can't believe people are like, yeah, this is okay. But part of that,
these soy farmers, Chris,
dude, part of that was no regulation of AI for 10 years. That was saw
the kiss the ring from these guys.
How could you be in favor of no regulation of AI? Do you realize that at some point
they're pocketing billions, Chris? Did you see what they did militarily with these tech companies? They put the second and third command to people like Peter Thiel, Palantir, who's like probably taking all the information that they took from Doge. Like, you got somebody from Palantir, like second and third person. You got the second and third person down from Zuckerberg at Facebook. You get these tech people. And because you have to go through security clearances anytime these guys get information that's classified because it's our personal private information, they actually were like, hey, what if we just make these guys military, let's just give them military promotions. They've never served in the military ever. There's people who made an entire career of the military, but they'll just give it to the second command of Palantir. So he now doesn't have to actually go through security clearances because he actually has that military status.
At, man.
It's crazy corrupt.
What happens when the wrong person
they're all the wrong people
has their hands on every nuclear weapon, or everybody's
well, they can't make money
account.
Off of corpses, dude.
It's
They can't make money. I know, but listen, like
It's
the
real,
idea,
though. It's real. It's happening.
but you still need a giant population to fill your pockets, man. You can't get rid of your slave labor force.
I guess.
You
And
can't get rid of a slave labor force.
And that's where it all
You
comes
see what the
around.
economy did when you got rid of 1 million immigrants just in the last 6 months? You don't have anybody to do those jobs. It's tanking. Did you see what happened in freaking Georgia like this last week when that woman called was like, hey, let's call ICE on all these Koreans that are hanging around the Hyundai factory. They were there to train American workers to work for Hyundai, and so that entire factory just got dented economically.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
It was the whole point of bringing American jobs, and they're employees. They're Hyundai employees from Korea, and they all got like ICE called on them, which that's going to dent the local economy when Americans can't be trained to make Korean cars in Georgia. It might affect the Georgian economy. Like, they're treading on their fucking selves.
I have a question for you that I think I don't really hear a lot of people talk about.
When does Somewhere to Land by Punchline come out? What's my favorite? What's my favorite song on the album?
Dude,
I'll talk I'll try and keep the end of humanity at bay with you as much as you want, man.
Well,
like
the one thing I do want to say is a lot of times, I want to say loud and proud, fuck ICE and fuck anybody who works for ICE.
Dude, I've done so many anti-ICE runs and rallies and protests. We do it real out. We're in LA, dude. We're in LA. We do it real with these anti-ICE.
What kind of fucking disgusting, degenerate pig piece of shit would work for ICE? Is like what is
failed Superman actors?
Yeah, I mean, fuck him. But what I want to say though is I hear the argument.
Did you see him going through the kiddie ropes or did you see him going through the playground obstacle course?
I hate giving these people even wasting breath on.
Did you see him trying to prove he was a badass? I think he was going through a playground obstacle course. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw it. But I hate that these people we even give them the credit of saying their names and stuff. But I want to steer things out of this.
If you played Kal-El, it was Cal-Fail is what that was. Did you see the Superman movie? How good was the Superman movie? Did you see that?
I didn't see it. It looks pretty good.
Dude, the Superman movie was great. And it was all about hope and positivity. And it was it was a fairly political movie, dude. They went right at this alt-right crap. And so I big props to the Superman movie. And I'm pretty sure Peacemaker season 2 is setting up to do a lot of political stuff too, because there's some stuff going on in episode 3 where I was like, I think I know what's going on here, and it's not good.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
And why are more people not speaking out? Look, I have a small.
It's not profitable to speak out. I know we both have small.
I don't believe that.
But
I don't believe that.
Well, no, you're right, because Mandani in New York, had a super popular platform. Bernie had a super popular platform, but somewhere in that party specifically are people who do not want that message, who do not want those to be the party leaders.
I'm talking about artists, Jonathan.
Right.
I'm talking
about people like David Hogg, who got forced out of the Young Democrats. Right.
That's a different conversation. I'm talking about creative people, not just keeping their mouth shut. Because it's the old Michael Jordan Republicans buy shoes too thing.
Oh my God! But the biggest of them, T Swift, didn't keep her mouth shut, and she's still rocking.
I got a problem with her.
What? She rallied, and Dolly Parton did the same. She tried to rally the left. She tried to rally her fans to the left.
Do you really think?
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, she should probably get her husband or fiance to boot whoever the MAGA guy from their team. But what can you do, man? They're trying to win a championship.
I think that if all billionaires are bad, that includes Taylor Swift.
Okay, so who did we have on the podcast? Chris Kluwe, right? Used to play for the Vikings, and he's maybe a millionaire at this point. It's been a couple years since
I don't have a problem with millionaires.
But Chris is great, and he said after you make $5 million, something happens to your brain. And Chris is also the person who made noise. I'm super proud of him. He made noise in the Huntington Beach city council, and he got arrested, and I sent him an immediate email. I was like, dude, Chris, I'm so proud of you. And now he's running for local assembly, I believe. Chris, if I could vote in Huntington Beach, you have my vote, because they definitely need it in Huntington Beach, because that's like freaking dude. There's a lot of hard right and probably worse in Huntington Beach. But yeah, man, he said it on this podcast during Black Lives Matter. Like, once you get $5 million, something pops in your brain, and you just start thinking it's a good idea to take plane flights with your buddy who has a lot of young girls hanging out with him. You know, like, there's people from both sides on that list that they're trying to release. Like, yeah, I think after you get, I think once you get $5 million or somewhere in there, something pops in your head, and there's a level of empathy that just goes out. But also, you look at like Jeff Bezos' like ex-wife, and she's done great things with the money. She's done beautiful things. So I don't want to throw a net that says all billionaires are bad. There's example of one billionaire, at least of what we know so far.
You have one example.
I know. Most of them are Lex Luthor, dude. But every now and then, maybe you get a Danny Rand or somebody who has the iron fist. Wants to do good. Wait, who are some good billionaires? Let's think of some good billionaires. Because Tony Stark had to get a piece of shrapnel in his fucking heart to realize it was a piece of garbage. Tony Stark was a piece of garbage.
I'm gonna say like there are people in bands and stuff. I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
I fucking love Paramore. I think Hayley Williams is the most talented person to ever come out of like our scene of music or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's such a badass. She did that live performance before the election where she talked about what Project 2025 was. I was like, fuck yeah, Hayley. Amazing. Like, so cool. I mean, Billie Eilish has used her platform this way. So many people have used their platform this way. And when people like don't say anything, I like them way less. And consider
No, you have to say something. If you don't, you have to say something.
Now,
use your platform.
You have to say something.
There's no reason you're not using your platform right now. And I'm so sorry, Geekscapists who jumped in here and are like, I wonder what Jonathan's favorite song is off of Somewhere to Land. We can get to that whenever you want, but like, and please pick up the album this week, because my favorite band, and I really want you guys to keep making music and not break up and quit telling people. Okay, thank you. Because as you can hear on A Band Called Punchline, there was a time when Chris threatened to leave the band if they didn't, whatever. Listen to the podcast. You'll love it. But I like this dude, Rock Nerd Radio, who's in the comments. Dude, you're awesome. He said, fuck yeah, Danny Rand. Welcome to Geekscape. It's all comics all the time. That's just the language I speak, and that's how I relate to things. But I don't know, man. I use my platform for this. We did during BLM. We used it all the time. It's a small platform, but it's the one I have, and I don't care about losing fans. You have to. I don't care if I lose one. We'll probably gain 5 that are ready to stuff a Molotov.
Right.
Not that it's going to come to that, because that's clearly what putting troops in DC and Chicago and what he tried to do in LA is trying to do, is instigate some level of violence so he can postpone elections through martial law. Like, it's a pretty transparent playbook because it's been used for hundreds of years. But
of course. And I hope that we're preaching to the choir here, Jonathan, but I got to say,
peaceful protests. Yeah.
I got to say that what has been on my mind and on my heart as we're about to look, as we're about to release a new album on Friday, this coming Friday, our new album's coming out. And we've been working on this thing for years. Okay.
It's crazy that some of these songs, like Darkest Dark, I first heard in 2016.
That we decided.
I think it's so cool though.
But what I want to say about it is like,
that's Ophelia.
I want people to check it out. And I do think we need music and movies and shows and everything. But it feels gross to be promoting something with what's going on. No? Okay. Convince me otherwise.
No, I'm going to convince you otherwise, because people need some level of respite from just the slog of doom and gloom that people like myself are actually pretty guilty of doing. Like, dude, the hell carousel, that's what I call it. Whenever you wake up and the first thing you do is check your socials, and your first social, I'm 46 years old, so it's going to be Facebook. The next thing you check is Instagram. Then you're going to check the TikTok. Then you're going to check maybe like a Threads or something like that, because you're not going to go to X because it's full of neo-Nazis. So those are 4 social media platforms. Throw in your email, and that's your 5th. And this is why you're still sitting in bed. So then when you're on that 5th, looking at the emails, this and that, you then think to yourself, oh, it's been 10 minutes. it's been 15, maybe it's been 20. I bet you there's some fresh stuff back on Facebook. And so then you do Facebook, then you do Instagram, then you do Threads, then you do.
I don't do that anymore.
Dude, but that is the carousel of hell, and we do it especially when our mass media is failing us. I mean, they're failing us, dude. When you have like 9 Epstein survivors on the front steps of the Capitol, and it's barely mentioned in the top 4, definitely not mentioned in Fox News, but it's barely mentioned by CBS, NBC, or ABC or CNN. Like, it's barely front page because the giant orange turd threw some distraction into the algorithm. Like, there's the theory that he was like putting jets out that day on the no-fly zone that covers the Capitol steps. Like, sure, believe whatever you want to believe. I worry about becoming a left version of QAnon, but
I know, right?
But what I'm saying is that we are living in a really hostile climate for the attention economy, right? Like the album is called Somewhere to Land. The attention economy is burying it right now, and so I'm using Geekscape to say, pause the stuff that is going at you, like the deluge of trash and horridness that is coming at you in the attention economy, the flood of politics, the flood of negativity. Yes, we were just guilty. I don't think we were negative. I think we were real. But pause it and realize that there's grass, that's just a blue sky, that there's good music, that there's comics, that there's art, that there's story, that there's conversation, that there's good coffee, that Oasis is back, I guess. It doesn't scratch my itch, but a lot of people who I'm friends with, it scratch their itch. You know, there's a place for this album, and it's just as much a part of survival, Chris, making art and communicating and being human, as, like I said, peaceful protests and standing up or doing what Governor Pritzker did in Chicago by loading assault trucks and blocking ICE from taking the roads and stuff. Like, no, I think art and conversation is a major part of surviving this. It's important. No, it's crucial. It's crucial, everything. Or we are just drowning in it. Yes, pick up Somewhere to Land this week. I don't care. No, I'm not being facetious. I'm not being facetious. Like I think that it's crucial, and to tell you the truth, I think your album snuck me. Maybe I was like, I don't know where I was in July or whatever, Comic-Con, but I feel like I came out of Comic-Con, and somewhere in early August, you guys were like, oh yeah, a new album comes out in September. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking aggressive. And fuck, I need it. I need your album, dude. I need your album. I need comics. I need movies. I needed that Fantastic Four movie. I need
how about
stuff. Like, I need that stuff, man.
Can I
to breathe? It feels like, remember like the Sonic the Hedgehog levels where you're underwater and there's those giant bubbles you have to get to, so you can go and you can breathe.
Yeah,
that's what art is in this current climate. That's what that is. That's hopefully what Geekscape is. Maybe not this episode, but that's hopefully what Geekscape is.
Well, I had to let that stuff out.
Yes,
I thought you were
the shit's on fire, bro.
Yeah, and like,
if you don't talk about shit being on fire, like, you're a clown.
And
you're a privileged clown.
And I do think that it's important, but I don't want to bum people out all the time either. But I want to be like,
them an album, and they're gonna pick it up this Friday somewhere.
I want to be like, hey, we got a new album. These are songs from our hearts, and we come to a show. We have shows coming up, and hang out in person with other people who want to have a good time. And
yes, and I want to see you guys in Des Moines, and like, I want to see fans. And then I knock on wood, I think I'm going to Savannah and Milwaukee in November. Like, we're going to be, Chris is hitting the road, I'm hitting the road. LA Comic-Con, we're going to be there. Like,
I'm not going to any of those places.
I know, but I am, and we need to,
hopefully
we need to effing hug each other.
Yeah.
We need to at least share a coffee across the table with each other. We at least need to, or a soda, or a glass of water. We at
Can
least
I talk to you about some
conversation things? Like, or we are not going to survive, because what did I tell you about isolation? It makes you go to your corners, and your corners are already monopolized by an algorithm run by trash like Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I didn't really know who Andrew Tate was. I
No,
unfortunately found
until after the pandemic, and you start hearing about these Jordan Petersons and the Manosphere and this
yeah.
crap, and it's like, wait, you're having these derps tell you how to be a man? Like these guys?
Why are people so
Like,
worried
are
about
you
how
kidding me?
why are people so worried about that
Dude,
particular
it's
thing?
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Can I talk about can I breakneck change the subject real quick
Chris Fafalios teaches me how to be a man.
to some things like that I
Whatever you want.
enjoy. Some like
Please. If we still have listeners, it'd be great.
Oh man.
I don't care. I don't care. I've been here for 20 years. I'm going to be talking to myself. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Well,
Please.
I saw it in the movie theater and I've probably watched it several times since. Did you see Friendship?
Oh man, it just hit HBO Max, and let me tell you why I didn't see it in the movie theater was because of Ophelia and like getting a babysitter or this and that. Like, it's really hard to go see a movie in the theater, so I save it for the 4-color funnies like Superman and Fantastic Four. You know, I save it for the comic book movies. But I think Tim Robbins, I think those guys are geniuses, and I really want to see it, dude. It's on HBO Max right now.
It's incredible. It's
I
incredible.
want to see it. Yeah.
So,
and I want to see Nobody too, because I love Nobody.
You like?
I did like it. Yeah, it's like
I love
John Wick.
Bob Odenkirk, but
I do too. And like the thing with John Wick is like it's fun, but it's like an overly serious Wile E. Coyote cartoon where he's just getting walloped everywhere and whacked, and I'm like, he'd be dead so many times over. But it's like Fast and Furious. Like after a while, you have to think of them as actual cartoons, or there's just no realism to it. But what's great about putting Bob Odenkirk in it is he's comedic. Not that Keanu can't do comedy. I love Keanu, but with Bob Odenkirk, you're already like, yeah, drop an anvil on his head. You know what I mean? Like, there's a level of comedic, believability that's already there. That I love Nobody 1. I want to see Nobody 2. There's a lot of movies I want to see. I just
Naked Gun. Did you see Naked Gun?
Oh my god, we went to Naked Gun, dude. Naked Gun is great.
Yeah, I saw
the
half
Naked
of it
Gun.
the other night.
The Naked Gun. Watch the whole thing. The Naked Gun is on effing point. It is hilarious. It barely misses, and I think we mentioned Paul Walter Hauser several times on this show because he's my brother's tag team wrestling partner.
Oh.
But like, and they're going to be in LA here in like 2-3 weeks. But dude, he's great in it. Liam Neeson's great in it. Like, Pamela Anderson's amazing in it, and the writing is so good.
It's Lonely
the Naked
Island
Gun,
guys, right?
Yes, and the Naked Gun is amazing, guys. The Naked Gun is so funny, and there's Weird Al jokes in it, so of course
Weird Al's in it.
Don't spoil anything more.
He was in the original,
Man,
right?
It's so good, guys. The Naked Gun was so good. It's so great. What else do you enjoy?
This is kind of a bummer of a thing,
fine.
but I think it's well done. I'm halfway through it. I've watched 2 of the 4 episodes. The Yogurt Shop Murders.
I can't because I grew up in Austin. I remember when it happened. I was in middle school. It took over the entire city. And not only can I not watch that, I told Heidi, I was like, hey, you maybe might want to watch that. Absolutely do not watch it. It's awful. I remember when it happened.
Documentary.
Sure. Yeah, no. I think people who are into that should definitely watch it. There's just
I didn't know about it.
Effing way. Oh, it was horrible, dude. I was in middle school when it happened, and those girls, I think they went to Anderson High because it happened up by North Cross Mall, and it was awful. Like, dude, it totally shook Austin, and it was awful what happened to those girls. Yeah, the Yogurt Shop Murders is brutal. I'm not watching that ever.
Okay. Another. Can I bring up another documentary?
Dude, this is Geekscape. Please, I love documentaries. We've made documentaries. Let's go.
Another documentary I thought was. Look, I thought it was amazing when I was watching it. Then I read the reviews on Letterboxd of people with probably some good points about why it's not so awesome.
Okay.
And the documentary's from like 4 or 5 years ago, but the Natalie Wood documentary.
Don't know it. I mean, I know the Natalie Wood story really well, but I don't know the documentary.
Well,
what do you think was going on with that boat?
Her daughter made the documentary.
Oh, then that actually puts it back on my radar. The Natalie Wood thing.
It's on Max.
Yeah.
After
I watch Peacemaker, I can watch that.
She does not blame Robert Wagner. She loves him.
Walken.
No, neither of
Yeah.
them. She doesn't blame them at all. And she said it's
Super
some
sad.
yeah, she said it's something that it was tabloid, whatever, and very convincing in the documentary. But then there was some stuff that she didn't put in the documentary where I was like, oh, I don't
What do
know.
you mean? How
Just
does that
like
come to light?
they reopened the case back in like 2013 or something, and there's some bad stuff in there.
So when
And
I first moved to LA, Chris, I drove Peter Bogdanovich around, and he was doing a TV movie on Natalie Wood. So he did, I think he's one of the TV movies based on the Natalie Wood story, and he and man, I was so immersed in that stuff for those years, that time that I was driving Peter around because he was making that movie and doing posts on it. That I don't know. You live in Hollywood, you hear those stories about
oh,
the Manson
oh,
murders and that stuff. I mean, you drive those streets, and that's where it
Is
happened.
he
Yeah,
who was making the movie she was in when she died? You mean?
Peter Bogdanovich. Not sure. I mean, I know that um the the Manson stuff is pretty tragic. I don't know. I'd have to find out. I mean, Peter died a few years ago.
Wait, you're talking,
But
or are you saying
he wore
that?
an ascot. He did a mask with Cher, and
Okay.
like in Eric Stoltz, like he did. I mean, those aren't his famous
Well,
movies. His famous movies is
I
like
thought you meant he had something to do with the
Last Picture
Natalie
Show
Wood.
stuff. No. He was doing a movie based on it. He was directing a TV
Oh,
movie based on it when I was like his
oh.
driver,
Well,
and so I knew all about that stuff.
I mean, what I really liked about it was, of course, I knew who she was, but I
Yeah,
guess I didn't realize how amazing she was. Like,
it was a loss, dude. Major loss.
is she the greatest actress of all time? I mean,
I don't know.
when I watched that doc and I saw like what she did and how she had a career, she was the girl in Miracle on 34th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she was already an amazing actress at age 12. And then I just thought, I watched that and I'm like, oh my God, I love her so much. And it's so sad. She was 43 years old and drowned.
And there's like, but there's also like Shirley Temple was not treated well by the adults around her. You guys are gonna yell at me, but Wizard of Oz, right? Like that actress has been well documented how terrible her life was, in people just pushing her on the screen or on the stage, and just how it destroyed her life. Like I don't know, man. Like I with Ophelia, having a 1-year-old, like my entire life revolves around that child now, and it's been only been 13 months, but we try not to show her face on social media. We don't, people are like, oh my God, that kid's so beautiful. You should try and put her in photos or put her in commercials or something, which is so what people always tell you about your kid when you live in LA. And I'm like, no, not really going to seek that stuff out. We're just going to try and raise a normal kid, because one of the people that he's been on this podcast, he was over the summer and he came to her birthday party, but like Jeremy Miller from Growing Pains. Remember when I had Jeremy on the podcast a couple months ago?
He
Like,
came up on a commercial.
dude, Jeremy's wonderful, but he was almost not wonderful. If you listen to that Geekscape episode, like, holy shit, he's drinking as a single-digit kid.
Yeah.
And like, it's just the level of, ruin that his life could have just ended up as, and the fact that he's pulled up from almost completely bottoming out when so many of his peers did.
Yeah.
Like the dude, Uncle Jeremy, as we call him here, is just it's a remarkable dude's alive. And that was the norm for child actors.
Well, did you see the Salil Moon Fry Kid 90 doc?
I saw Salil Moon Fry. Yeah, I did see the doc, and I saw Salil Moon Fry at GalaxyCon San Jose.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. She seems like the nicest person ever. She seems so sweet, nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
She's awesome. But
because I love Punky Brewster growing up. So
many of those kids don't end up like that, man. I tell you when I went to, like, because we had Sean Astin on the show, and then Sean invited me to Corey Feldman's house. I've told this story on the podcast. He is so nice. Feldman is so nice.
Really?
He's very nice. But he's incredibly nice, and he was nice to Heidi. He came to her play and all that stuff. But like, but but there's, I mean, even with Jeremy, like there's damage that like for Jeremy it's alcohol, like and people allowing a kid to go that far into alcohol. So like listen to that Geekscape. He was so incredibly candid about it. But other people, it wasn't alcohol. It was actual abuse, physical abuse from adults, and like fuck that shit. It's horrible.
Corey Feldman was, in my lifetime, the most iconic child actor. I mean, his resume between
Incredible.
Goonies, Stand By Me, the movies with the other Corey, like it's just,
dude, License to Drive is the shit.
License to Drive and Dream a Little Dream.
Dream a Little Dream is amazing. That's actually a really good movie. And The Lost Boys,
dude,
The Burbs.
Oh, he's in one of the. Is he in one of the Halloweens or one of the
Friday? He's one of the Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Matt Kelly's yelling at you right now. He doesn't want you to co-host his podcast with him anymore.
But it's just amazing that didn't translate into like him being the best not child actor. So, like,
Corey Haim didn't turn out okay.
Corey Haim obviously didn't, but
yeah, you start hearing terrible things. I mean, I'm not going to allege them here, but yeah, some of that stuff came up on like my algorithm like this past weekend where I was like, no, Hollywood, no, not doing the Hollywood thing on my socials. Not gonna let the algorithm take over. You ever fight your algorithm when you're like, nope, that's a little too much of that crap?
You know what my algorithm is? And my algorithm is people walking on like trails in national parks and coming across grizzly bears.
Did you see the dude that was in Yosemite trying to like goad a bison? He's sitting there like wailing his arm, and I'm like, you complete idiot. Those things are the size of a small bus.
Also in my algorithm are people who in freaking like kayaks in the ocean and great white sharks come around. Like,
oh, that
cool. Is so terrifying. Like, but
yeah, but the statistics say it's not. But
still, man,
I wouldn't want to be.
We all saw Jaws. 50 years, baby.
Statistically, it's not so bad. Would I want it to graze my leg if I'm in a kayak in the deep ocean? Absolutely not. Heidi was. We were on the couch and I got on my phone, and when you hit the search function, I think I was trying to find someone's profile, and I hit the search on Instagram, and it shows you all basically your algorithm. It's a bunch of squares of different things that you like. And mine is comic books, a lot of Ninja Turtles, comic books, Green Day, basketball, and like redheads. And Heidi's like, why are there all these redheads on your Instagram? I'm like, because I'm married.
I'm going to look at what mine is.
Like, we're good. Yeah, if you just go to Instagram and you hit the search, the little magnifying glass,
it
pretty much shows you what you're into.
It's always, I think you should leave clips. Always, I think you should.
Dude, I love that show's incredible.
A lot of Norm Macdonald interviews.
Oh, God bless.
I'm scrolling. I see a Jeremy Allen White. I see Mark Maron. I see Prince.
Saget. Bob Saget was somebody I met when we were both going to go into a Fox pitch. He had some show, and I had a show. We were sitting in the Fox lobby, and that's my only interaction with him. I just bring him up because he said Norm Macdonald, and they both died way too young.
I know.
But Saget was like, "Hey, what's your thing?" And I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. And I explained it to him. And he's like, "Oh, that's funny. That's good." And I was like, "What's your thing?" I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this with Bob Saget, who's amazing. The conversation only lasted 10 minutes, but I will never forget it because he was
very
nice
well liked.
Everybody thought he was so nice, and my 10-minute experience with him was that he was great.
That's cool.
Yeah. I only bring that up because because Norm Macdonald, who we all love, and dude, did you go see Dirty Work in movie theaters? Because I know I did. I went with my dad.
So. I was a mega fan, so I got to think that I did.
The movies that what a golden era, right? And maybe that's not. Maybe Dirty Work isn't the epitome of the golden era, and you think of things like Tommy Boy and the Sandler movies and this and that, but like because Naked Gun was such a breath of fresh air, and it didn't negate the original movies, and it actually celebrated them in huge ways, and is part of the continuation of those characters. I thought it did it so well. because it's his son, right? And
they're
I thought it was they're all their
everybody's
sons. It's so
they're
good.
all everybody's sons. That's so
It
funny.
was so good. But when you look back at that era, I've thought about this recently. Um, the movies I was like, I have to see that opening day because I'm such a big fan. Let me just list them for you. And I think you of all people, Chris, will appreciate this list. Brain Candy. Had to see
Oh
Brain.
wow, Kids in the
I
Hall.
had to see Brain Candy, Kids in the Hall. I got 3 movies coming at your way. Not Dirty Work. Dirty Work's on there, but Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy. Had to see it opening night. No way I
Okay.
was going to get around it. The MST3K film had to
Wow.
be there opening night for that. And here's you ready for this? It makes sense when you hear it. You're like, oh, you definitely were there opening night for that. Ouch. The Jerky Boys movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
had to watch that one opening night.
the MST3K movie, like it was after the fact, and I like got it on DVD or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just another episode of
Yeah, it's just a long episode of a scene. The jokes have a little bit more of a success rate, but I think it's
Okay.
because they put a little bit more into the
Mhm.
writing of it. But yeah, it's just a big episode.
I watch riff tracks all the time.
Love riff tracks.
I mean,
Love riff tracks.
it's still amazing. It's still funny. I love funny things. I'm glad. That's why I brought up Friendship, because like it's just so weird and funny. Paul Rudd is amazing.
And the level of beams that have come out of I Think You Should Leave, especially with this Trump administration, when they're guilty of everything. And how many times have we seen, almost on a weekly basis, some stupid crap happens from the White House where they're guilty as hell and trying to push it on Biden or push it on this and that. And the hot dog meme comes up, is like, who could have done this? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what is happening? I do love it, man. This album, you're gonna have to come back and talk about it.
I'll talk. Look, it's 10 songs. We are very much a rock band with pop
6
influences, and I would say, all 5 of the guys in the band are songwriters. We all contributed in lots of different ways on this album. All 5 of us sing on this album.
You get a crooner, and I texted you immediately. I was like, dude, you get your own song in a great way.
I got a couple songs I sing on this album.
I know, but I'm talking specifically. You know which one I'm talking specifically about?
The 5th track on the album.
The 5th track, yeah.
It's called Another One. You like that one?
Another One. I do. I mean, I'll tell you what. My favorite song is track 2, Find Yourself. I like that one.
Okay.
Is just so. If you want to talk about hope, if you want to talk about a song that kind of tries to lift you and tells you to keep going, like Find Yourself is a great one. I really think that one's awesome. Darkest Dark.
You know what I like
I just
about
really
that
enjoy
song?
it. But yeah, go for it.
Find Yourself. It's the 2nd track on the album. The lyric, there's a lyric in it where I'm like, that's a good. Steve wrote this lyric. It's a very good lyric. I think is, when did everybody get so good at everything? I'm just over here trying to keep my house clean.
Love that lyric.
I think that's like a good lyric. That who can't relate to that? You always feel like you're. I mean, I don't.
It's
know
also perception, right? Because you only think other people are good at things. The grass is always greener. That's a song that specifically. So we've been trying to put together a cast for a film. We have 1 or 2 people on it, and I try not to like barrage them with like, wouldn't this be cool? Because we really want to put the whole cast together and put the financing together for this film. But when a new album comes out like yours, I always think of opportunities. Like, I always see my film. I always see my comics. I always see my stories. And that specifically is a song where I'm like, yeah. And then the end credits start up, or something. Like, I'm always trying to place that stuff because I'm not a musician. My only frame of reference is visual. And so I'm just like, okay, like I hear it and it inspires me as a storyteller. That song is, dude, all the songs are just really good. And my biggest problem with your album is that it's 10 tracks.
Why is that a problem?
I want fucking more, Chris.
Back up. Hold up. Let me argue.
Not only do I want more, but let me list the ones that I'd already heard in some form for the last almost 10 years. All right. Like Darkest Dark we already talked about.
Sure.
I don't want to live in this world anymore.
It's
I will
only been
wait.
out for a couple months.
You know what? You need to hang out. You need to just chill. It doesn't help that I'm your friend, and sometimes I get early access to this stuff because I just want. Dude, do not listen to me, Chris. I'm not I'm not reliable in this way. Like I'm not a normal fan. I'm a psychotic fan. I'm a huge fan of your band. So for me, I love every song, but when I get to discover a new song, like whichever way the wind blows, then I really am like loving it. Not that I
Nice.
don't love the whole thing, but I'm looking for the songs I never heard any version
I
about
gotcha. I
of, and I'm
gotcha.
like, dude, cool. And so yes, your track 5, I call it your track, even though you're part of other tracks. But another one, which is really like a showcase for you in some sense. I don't know if you want to say that, but I say that. I was like, oh shit, what we got here?
All
This is
right.
new. This is different. I'm into this. I'm into
Nice.
this. I'm going to text Chris right now and derail his day with a little bit of a compliment. And I did. I said, wow, you got yourself a crooner on this one. I love this album. It's really great, dude.
Thanks, man.
It's really good. Like, I like your last couple albums. I like Lion. I think you guys are like pushing some stuff. I like Thrilled. I think you guys are like trying stuff. I really think you guys are like flexing and trying to respond to what music was doing around you guys. And I don't want to be unfair to either of those albums. But I feel like with Somewhere to Land, you guys not only stress tested a couple of these songs over the last 8 years, which is fine. I will allow you guys. You should be stress testing these songs, especially if albums don't necessarily have to exist anymore and people are just putting out singles and EPs. I think I love that you guys put out a 10-song album, and I love that you guys have stress tested some of these songs, which is great because these aren't those versions of the songs. These are new versions of those songs in some way. But I think that this album, and I'll use Lion and Thrilled as the comparison, this is an album that feels like you guys have all the feet on the ground and are all in unison running together.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you all take part in the songs together. Not to say that like Steve was just like Thrilled, this is how it's going to be, or Lion, this is how it's going to be. I don't know how collaborative those albums were.
They were collaborative, but
Right. This
but
thing feels like everybody's just jamming in the same direction.
everybody's fingerprints are on every song, I think. Everybody we came together on this one. I'm really proud of this album, and I think that I I think that there is something for a lot of different people who have different tastes in music on this. Not to say that it's cohesive, but also I could see a kid liking this album, and I could see an elderly person liking
No, I
liking
think
this
it's
album.
like that because of the cohesion.
Yeah. I hope so anyway. I mean, we're going to see, man. We're going to come Friday. I mean, I got a few messages. The only way you can listen to it right now, I spent days shipping records, and we started getting some messages from people and pictures on Instagram of
It's the
people spinning
best.
the record.
It's the best. I'm addicted to that shit with Hero of the Prophecy. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Yeah. You love hearing the feedback. And they had a few messages saying that this was the best Punchline album. And we've had a lot of albums, and also we've had a lot of strong opinions on, people having, I mean, I don't blame them. You have a connection to an album from a certain part of your life, and this album just came out. So
Right.
gotta have some time with it.
Still
or
discovering
whatever.
it. Still discovering it. I mean, in retrospect, I mean, I love 37 Everywhere. I do. I love
Thanks.
Just Say Yes. I love the piano stuff that you guys were doing with Bell and a lot
Yeah.
of those stuff. But Pound for Pound, it's the one you guys just the podcast for. Like, So Nice to Meet You, Pound for Pound might have been diluted by being an actual album with more tracks, but Pound for Pound, let's just call it 4 songs because no cover, but like the cover's great, but like 4 songs, Pound for Pound, those songs are effing awesome. There's no misses on that thing. But
Thanks.
this feels cohesive, and that was the album you guys made in 2012. So it's like, this is what you guys should be making in 2025. If you guys put out an album of 10 songs that sounded like, as much as I love all 4 songs on So Nice to Meet You, if you guys had put that out in 2025, I'd have been like, You guys going to the mall now? Like, what is this? We're all in our 40s, kids.
Sure.
This is the album you guys should be making right now for people like me. But as you said, kids, older people, it's just a good album, dude. Congratulations
Thanks,
to everyone, including PJ, who fills in for Corey. Still,
yeah,
it's still family, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome, man. I really love this album.
Thanks, appreciate
and I
that,
wish you
man.
guys. I hope you guys will bring it to LA. It's impossible. I know it's hard to do any of that stuff anymore, but hopefully the world gets better and you guys can come to LA and play the songs live.
It's possible. The way that we can have that happen, I guess I would, anyone listening who might be interested. And sorry, I was getting all fired up earlier, but
it's too late. Well, who are you talking to? They're not listening anymore.
Oh, come on! What are we doing?
Keep going. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry. I'm being rude. What were we gonna say? I'm being rude.
I was just gonna say that if someone out there happens to be listening, and
runs like the garden amphitheater in there's a cool theater in where is it? It's in Orange County, and they book some awesome bands and bring them out and stuff like that. And it's really cool.
It's all about getting the snowball rolling down the hill a little bit for us. And we do have a nice, fan base, people that supported us for a long time. And it's just we depend on word of mouth, play it for a friend or whatever, help us get that snowball going a little bit. Cause then, you know how things go, man. You increases your chances. If you can get a little hype behind your band, increases your chances of getting a good support tour. And then it's easier for us to come to LA. We can't really come to LA on a whim and do a headlining show. I
wish I had the money to just bring you guys out and play for me.
Yeah, I would love that. But these things cost money.
I would invite other people though. I would invite I wouldn't make it weird.
We don't need billions or whatever, but you do need a few thousand to make these things happen.
Yeah,
so.
Or have a good, have somebody bring you guys out. Like I was telling the same thing to the Emperor Pacific Boys a couple months ago when their album came out, and I love those guys, and I think they had someone like a Hawthorne Heights, your friends. I think they took them out a little bit here on the West Coast or something like that. But yeah, it's really hard to find those bands that are able to put that stuff together and tier it in a way that it makes financial sense and can sustain, enough. And obviously the 4-chord festival, like talk to Ryan. Not that Ryan's gonna not that the boys and state champs or anything are gonna take him out. They're currently out with a yellow card, which I think is effing awesome. That's kind of cool. But meet, I'm gonna text Ryan and be like, dude, you gotta talk to Chris. He's ready to meet you.
They play on Saturday.
They're good dudes.
They play on Saturday.
Oh, it's a 2-day thing. You're not gonna go hang out and check it out?
I'm gonna go on Saturday. Okay. I'm going on Saturday. Blink's playing on Saturday, dude, and Jimmy World's playing on Saturday.
How great is that's a solid day.
Our day is AFI.
That's not bad.
Say Anything, Jawbreaker.
Oh, that done. Jawbreaker is the band I would go to see. Yeah. Done. Jawbreaker is the band I would go to see. No offense to Blink. No offense to any of that. To AFI, any of that. Jawbreaker is the band I would go to see. In Punchline with the new album. Somewhere to land. Are you comfortable with me telling Ryan Chris is going to come find you, try and find you?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, Chris, I don't know what else to say beyond they need to come find this album. They can pre-order it if they order it on the Punchline Music.
Just straight up order it now. I'll ship it the second I get. That's what I told people. Like, I'm all caught up on the pre-orders as of a few hours ago. I finally finished packing them up, and
comes in vinyl. Is there a CD version of this, or can they buy the digital version? I think is what I'm getting at. Is there a digital version that they can order right now?
Right now, there's the record, and we had a couple people ask about CDs.
I was being facetious, but if they go to punchlinemusic.com, can they get a digital version that will download on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can stream it wherever, if you like us and you want to listen to it, but you're like, look, I don't collect records. I don't have a record player, and you don't want to get a record, but you really like us, you could get a shirt or something. We have tons of shirts, hoodies. We got hacky sacks. We got
I need a hacky sack.
We got all kind of fun stuff if you want to support us. I'm not it's not a requirement. I would just appreciate it if you just checked out the album, however, stream it, whatever. But just saying.
Well, listen, Geekscape, you have your mission, somewhere to land, and also listen to the Punchline podcast, A Band Called Punchline. Listen to Chris's other podcast with our very own Matthew Kelly. That would be One Hit Thunder, which is just awesome. You guys are a juggernaut of a podcast, and I love you guys very much. Matt's a brother to me, so that says that. Dude, I don't know what else to say other than I hope to see some of you Geekscapists if you're in Des Moines. I hope to see you in Des Moines for GalaxyCon. If not, LA Comic Con here in Los Angeles. Big shout out to Rock Nerd Radio for being here this whole time. I think you're a cool dude. If the Rock Nerd Radio show is still a thing or old episodes, like people should go check that out because you've been supportive this entire time, even when we were violent socialists. No, look, I know you're exactly as you should be.
Thanks for letting me get it all out because I feel like
it's like when we were texting earlier and it was like, I don't get the big deal with soccer and I don't get the big deal with Oasis. No offense, guys, but like you and I was like, dude, same.
You said it. I'm indifferent to both. You seem like you dislike Oasis and you dislike soccer.
I forgot they existed, and then suddenly they're all over my timeline again, and I'm like, oh right, Oasis.
In defense of Oasis, a little bit, they are a rock band. And that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I just, I forgot about them because they went away, which is crazy because I'm a Weezer fan. But they never went away.
Most people didn't forget about Oasis.
Yeah, I know. It's just me. I'm just here with my Spider-Man comics.
Yep. Gotcha. You know what comics I like? Ralph Snart.
Yeah, Ralph Snart is the shit. Ralph Snart is awesome, dude.
World's biggest Ralph Snart fan over here.
I love Ralph Snart. I love all the Fringe counter comics. Love all that crap, man.
I like Fright Night
all that
too.
Stuff. Love that stuff, dude. Love
Now
that stuff.
comics.
I love the EC comics, the Now comics. I love those, like, kind of like those publishers of Days Gone Past. I romanticize all that stuff where I'm just like, oh damn, I remember that on the spinner rack and getting, this and that. And yeah, of course. Cool, man. Well, I think we're talking comics next week. I'm still trying to get an approval on releasing some of our panels from GalaxyCon on the feed, but you'll find out if you subscribe on the Apple Podcasts or the Spotify. I don't know what the other ones are called, but Dogcatcher. I don't know. I honestly don't know what other podcast network. Do you know what the podcatchers are? There's like iHeartRadio. Is there? That's the one, right?
Do people use that one?
I don't know, man.
I think it's.
I looked up and it was like some of them sound like there's like I was like Growler. What the hell is that? Like some of them sound like they could be sex sites or sex apps.
It's mainly Apple Podcasts or Spotify is what
those are the two.
Or
man.
YouTube.
Those are the two. Because some people are like, oh yeah, Sponger. And I'm like, shut up. Just stop. I listen to this on Sprocket. And I was like, no, enough.
Yeah. Pocket Casts.
Yeah. Oh, Pocket Casts do I won't even get into Pocket Casts, but they put out a lot of audiobook and stuff like that. Okay. So don't get lost in the Pocket Cast.
You like Sideways Stories from Wayside School?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Louis Sacker?
Yeah, but listen, man. I mainly only read comics at this point. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to text you as soon as this is done. But I do want to read Ophelia.
Go do what you got.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Dude, I love talking to you, Chris. We don't talk enough.
I hope I wasn't too much of a bummer.
No, it was awesome.
Okay,
we talked pop culture, dude. And we'll be back next week and talk more pop culture. If you want more Chris, you can hear him on the on his podcasts.
One Hit Thunder,
and Band Called Punchline.
Yep.
And you can hear me on Geekscape. Enough. And go listen to Rock Nerd Radio. All right, Geekscape is. Talk to you later. Peace.